All right, welcome to episode 4 of Dinner for Two. I am really happy about my guest today. Our dinner reservation tonight is with Riley Drake. Thank you so much for being here, Riley.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. A lot of people probably don't know who you are, so do you want to talk about yourself a little bit and give a little bio?
Sure. Yeah. First best friend probably in my life was Denver.
I was just thinking about that as we've known each other since 1987, and yeah. I must have been shit faced because I don't remember it at all.
You had to.
I bet we had a good time though.
It had to be pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, in between like crawling over each other and toy bins and running around outside. Yeah, you've known me for like 28 years.
I've known you for my whole life.
Yeah.
You had a little time without me, which was probably really boring.
It was.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of meaning or purpose in my life at that time, but I'm over it. I'm past it.
Yeah. I'm in a
new place.
Good. I'm glad I could bring sunshine to your life.
You have in so many ways.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, is that what all you want to do?
Bio? I mean, there's more, but I don't know how much you want me to share.
Oh, what do you want? We're just sitting down,
having a nice little meal. Let's see. I have a dog. Okay. I love him probably more than I love you or most people.
Wow.
I don't know. Lately, I'm kind of caught in this like interesting place of trying to figure out what I want to do next with my life, and and I really haven't figured it out yet. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. We'll see what happens.
Who knows? Maybe we'll find out what you want to do next on this.
Maybe this will lead me there.
It's good. You never know. Anyway, so if you haven't watched Dinner for Two before, basically we just sit down and chit chat and see where it takes us and talk about different topics. Typically, the trend has been to talk about poop. I don't know that this episode will be very poop oriented, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Today, I actually have a bowl of mixed nuts that I'm eating for dinner.
That looks so good.
Yeah, almonds, pecans, and walnuts.
Oh, delicious. Did you make it yourself or did you buy it pre-mixed?
Oh, I buy the nuts by themselves and then mix it myself so I have the proper ratio.
That's a good idea. Yeah. You don't want too many of one. I'm just drinking coffee. That's kind of where I'm at today.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need coffee for dinner.
Slow moving.
So to start off with, let's talk about. Well, let me tell you this first. I was really excited to have you on because I don't know. Maybe I know you better than a lot of people do, but you have two different personas, kind of. So like there's probably a lot of people on Facebook that think that like you're really like straight laced and like all about political stuff and all that. But
this is what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
But then there's also a side of you that people don't see kind of behind closed doors where you can kind of just let loose and have fun.
You're not the first person to say that.
No.
In fact, when I first started working at my new job, one of the people who's actually become one of my closest friends now was like, oh, when I first met you, I was just like, oh, that girl, well, she probably goes to church every Sunday and like doesn't do anything and doesn't go out and have a good time or anything like that. And I was like, I don't know why people think that. I don't know what am I doing that's like leading people to believe this about me? But I pretty much just say whatever comes to mind. But I think that people, maybe what I share in some settings is different, so they don't really get to see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm just, if I don't really know you, then I don't really talk a whole lot.
Yeah.
I just kind of sit there and take it all in and see where you stand on certain things and figure out what I can say and what I can't, and then at that point, then I'll start talking more.
Yes, and Facebook is kind of like a free for all. So I just Sometimes I hold it all in and I don't say anything at all. And I'm like, oh, I've been so good for so long. And then it just boils up inside of me and I can't take it anymore. And then I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it. And I say whatever I want. And then there it is. It's over.
Yeah, I don't ever say anything on Facebook. You're much more brave than I am when it comes to that, because
brave or stupid, I'm not sure which.
You sometimes it seems like you encourage, like you try to egg people on to comment on your statuses on Facebook, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Who has the nerve? Who wants to go?
Exactly.
I'm bored right now, so I want to see who wants to just try this out with me. Let's see can this take us? And then hours later, literally probably 3 hours later, I'm like, oh, why did I post that? As people are continuing to comment and come back, I'm like, never should have gone there. Just never should have gone there ever.
And that's why I don't do that, because after the first comment, I'd be like, all right, I don't care.
I'm done, actually. Actually, I don't care what you think, actually, so never mind.
Right. I've said this numerous times on our other podcast, Cold Sweats, and I don't know if I've said it on here before or not, but my opinion is that the majority of people are stupid. And so if I think you're stupid, I don't care what you have to say. So I just don't put anything on Facebook because everybody's stupid.
I try really hard, and day in and day out, if there was one thing in this whole world that I could say I'm genuinely the most thankful for, and I'm not lying when I say this, I 100% mean I am the most thankful that inner monologue is not exposed above my head, that people cannot see what I'm actually thinking, or the string of profanities that is rolling through my head at any given time.
Yeah, that
might be about
the world that way. Like, that'd be a bad deal, I think. To have like comics. They're like living in a comic with your thought bubble above your head.
Yes. Yeah. Like as someone starts talking, I'm like, just shut up. And then over here, someone else is talking, and I'm just thinking, oh, you're so wrong about that, but I don't know how to tell you it in a nice way without offending you. Or somebody has an idea and they're so excited about it, and I'm like, oh, that's the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. Who actually encouraged you to think that?
People wouldn't have a lot of friends, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we're really blessed that has not. I mean, if you think about the way that social media and everything else invades your privacy and your personal life, that's the last thing we have to hold on to. True. The last bit of privacy we have is what we say to ourselves.
Except for the people that actually put that stuff on their social media.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that? Then what do you do when you see that?
This is what I do. On my Facebook, you can I have a rule for myself. I never unfriend anybody.
Oh, that's nice of you.
If you want to be my friend, whatever. I don't ever post anything, so you're not really gaining anything by being my friend. But I'll look at your stuff, and then after a few days it annoys me, then I hide them from my newsfeed, so I never ever see them, and there's no trace that they ever existed.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. So half of my people on Facebook, I don't see their stuff.
You never see it anyway, so you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, especially the people that get a new camera and then all of a sudden become photographers.
Yeah,
I hide them automatically. It's a lot of people.
I'm thinking of there are a few people, and I think that maybe you could term this emotional cutting in a way. Like I force myself. It's almost as if I'm self-harming by going and looking at what they've posted, because I know inside I'm either going to boil over with rage, or I'm going to cry, or I'm going to call one of my sisters and be like, oh my God, have you seen what this is? And so sometimes I intentionally go and look just to see what's been going on, because I don't know why do I do that? Why?
No, I know exactly what you mean, because some of the people that I hide,
yes,
it's like a train wreck. You can't look away sometimes, and so as much as you hate seeing it, you also get entertainment out of reading it and seeing how stupid they really are.
comic value. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm kind of bored right now. I wonder what so and so is. Oh my God,
Right.
that is what they said. Okay. And then it's just, I don't know if it's like a diversion from boredom or if it helps me to feel better about myself on some days. I don't know. It does something for me, or I wouldn't keep doing it.
It's probably a combination. I do that the most with like people, like just not necessarily stupid, but just weird people. They like
Yes.
post weird shit, and I'm
Yes.
like, I gotta see. It's like heroin. I'm addicted to seeing their craziness.
Oh, but you know, and this is the other thing that I found, and some of my close friends have pointed this out to me too. Like, I think I'm genuinely attracted to those people, not in like a sexual way, not like a physical attraction, but more just I'm those people who are weird, but either they don't know or they just don't care. You know,
Right.
when they kind of do those things, I'm like, wow, you just are so either clueless or indifferent about
They just have giant balls and they don't care.
they're just like, I'm here and I'm gonna do whatever I want. Yeah, and so I enjoy like hanging out with them, and some of probably the coolest people I've ever met are just those people who are so, you know, other people are so turned off by them. They're off-putting, or they're like rude or offensive, or but I'm like, oh, I'm so interested, and I just wonder what makes them tick, why they do the things they do. So I like being around them. I'm literally, again, let's coming back to that inner monologue, like names are popping up in my head right now. Probably a good thing that those things aren't available for viewing.
Everybody just gets to see that beautiful painting behind you or that picture.
Actually, that's a field. I can kind of like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You can actually enter into it.
Oh. I've been told by people that I need to have a background besides for my light switch.
Oh, I don't know.
You
It's
like it?
neutral.
Yeah.
I think it's neutral, but again, like, okay, I'm also going to say this. You know, you're kind of neutral on Facebook. Your
Right.
background is neutral too, so this is telling me something about your personality.
There you
Like,
go.
like you're very neutral, so you can get along with a lot of different people, which makes you the ideal candidate for a podcast, because people can talk to you and you're not going to, you know, really go one way or another on some things because you can be neutral.
Like the main goal when I started this was actually to make everybody hate me. So apparently, I haven't been doing a very good job then, I guess.
That. No, I don't hate you. So I don't know many people who do. But I mean, keep working on it. You might get there. Lofty goal, but you might get there.
Yeah, I'll keep working on it. Let's continue talking about people.
Yeah.
And so I'll start it off. I have this lady that I work with.
Okay.
And so I work in like a team of 5 people, and we're all on the same team. And I sit all the way against one wall, and she sits directly in front of me. And then the other people in our team are like across the aisle, so not that far away, but we're closer.
Okay.
And she has kids and like grandkids, and she's one of those people that constantly, she's loud. First off, like beyond loud. Like we work in an open office, so like there's literally 30 people just in this area. And I guarantee the accounting people on the clear other side can hear her every time she talks. It's got to be a good like 25 yards over there too. So she's loud, first off. The second off, she has to always tell you everything about her kids, about her grandkids, everything. And I'm just like, lady, I just don't care. But you have to listen, because if you don't, like, everybody else is going to hear that you're just ignoring her and being an asshole.
I know.
So I want to talk about when people tell you stories that you don't care about. What do you do?
Oh my gosh, this is just, and I'm wondering if it's an age thing or if it's like the content of what they're talking to you about, because I think I'm wondering if she talked to you about something else, would you still be just as annoyed, or is it her voice plus the content of what she's talking to you about? What do you think it is that's really the most annoying?
Probably a combination of everything.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty tolerant of people, and I like,
yeah,
like a lot of people just won't take your bullshit and they'll let you know. Like she's kind of one of those people. Like if you would say something to her and she didn't like it, she'd tell you right to your face, like shut up.
Oh yeah.
But I can't do that. So like I hold it all inside, and then eventually I have to do a podcast about it and talk about how much it annoys me.
That's good. It's such a healthy way to get how you feel out of you. Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully this whole week at work, you can just, if she's annoying you, you can just remember this conversation, have a little chuckle, and then not think about it. But I'm thinking about when I go to Hy-Vee in the morning before work, there's a Hy-Vee that's really close to my school. So I go, there's a Starbucks inside. So if I'm going to go get coffee or something. Yeah. And, generally I don't leave and allow myself like an hour's worth of time, to go to Starbucks. I'm kind of in a hurry. Like I've got stuff to do. And this cashier, he's an older man, older gentleman, just loves to chat you up. Yeah. Will actually stop, like if I have to buy other groceries, or grab a couple things while I'm in there, I avoid his line at all costs because I'm like, I don't have time. But a lot of times he's the only one there that early in the morning, so I can't avoid it. Right. I'll go and I'm like, Riley, don't be rude. Don't be short with him. I'm like telling myself these things. And I'm like faking it so much, but it's so hard. And he will actually like be taking things across and scanning them, and then he'll like stop and talk to me for a little bit, and I find myself like I can barely take it. I just want to be like, roll it across and scan it and just keep going. I don't have time to chat with you right now.
For the love of God, man.
Just keep it going. I don't have time. And so I'm like, yep. And so I think that there are a couple different ways to handle this. I find myself most of the time being pretty passive aggressive about it and just being really short. Like, oh, yep. Like just trying to end the conversation, but like smile so they don't think I'm rude. Mm-hmm. And then maybe like a quick little, well, thank you so much or something afterward. So that's kind of the way that I handle it. But I think that if I really wanted it to stop, I don't know that would be, we had this PD at work the other day about crucial conversations, about how when you have a problem with someone, you should really go to them and talk to them. And
that's the last thing you want to do, though.
No, it's hard. I've had a few, and I'm going to be honest, they did not end well. So I don't know. I don't know if, but they got better. Like it was really hard to say some of the things that I had to say. And then it was awkward for a while because who really wants to get into that? But then it stopped, it stopped. And then that person doesn't really annoy me anymore or as much. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it depends how much you really want it to stop. I would probably go the passive aggressive route and just be like, yep, sorry, gotta take this call, or something. I don't know.
That's the way I do.
Yeah.
But I'm so non-confrontational that I don't think I could ever say anything.
I know. It's.
Have you ever thought that maybe, I don't know, sometimes I think that maybe it's me. Like we were at the mall the other day and we're in like they have like a pet store. So Kelsey always likes to go in there and look at the dogs.
Yeah.
So we're in there walking around, and this older couple just comes up to me and just starts talking to me, like they've known me forever, and like asked me where I'm from, and I told them I'm from Iowa, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I went to Drake and all this." So then, like I've been here in Arizona since July. Mm-hmm. Like I know quite a bit of the stuff like around here, but I don't know everything. So this guy is like, "Hey, how far to this? How far to this? How far to this?" I'm like, holy shit, I don't know any of this. Why are you asking me? Find somebody that's grown up here. But
oh, yes.
People, like, I don't know if it's just me or if it's just the people that I come in contact with that just, like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know the answer to your questions.
I know.
Just let me look at puppies. That's all I want.
And this is so deeply resonating. I truly, honestly do think it probably is partly you. Like, I mean, going back to again, like you're tolerant, you're neutral. People see you, they think you look like, hey, there's this super nice guy. I bet we could ask him this. And I think when people see me, it kind of comes back to that. Oh, look, she looks like such a nice girl. I don't know. I'm not, or like she looks like she goes to church on Sundays. I don't know. I want to see. I want to ask. I think I could go up and ask her this, or I could say this to her. I wonder what so and so thinks about. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's probably both. They feel you're a safe place for people to come to.
So what we figured out is that we just need to start being assholes, openly assholes to people.
Maybe my resting bitch face isn't bitchy enough.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
How does it look?
Still pretty approachable.
Okay, I'll work on it.
Yeah, you gotta work on it. So yeah, that's just the worst. I don't. And so this is what I was thinking about one day when she was telling me these stories. I'm like, what if I would just come up with equally dumb stories? And she tells me a story, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, you're not gonna fucking believe this. The other day, I went to the store, and they were out of the soup that I wanted, so I had to buy another one. It was nuts.
Oh,
what would she do?
That's I really want you to do that. Will you please do that?
I might have to.
Report back to me. I really, really, really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would use that same move though with the cashier at Hy-Vee. I don't know how I would possibly like detain him from other things or annoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
If you put food on the counter and I like slowly move it toward him and stop, and then I slowly move it. You know what I mean? I don't know how I would put it. Yeah.
I've got a great plan.
Okay.
Hear this out. Okay, so he is one of the only people that's there in the morning.
Yeah.
So you do something that creates work for him. Okay. So like take something and like accidentally drop it, like a pickle jar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you're going through the line, and the first thing you say is, "Oh hey, there's a broken jar of pickles in aisle 2." Yeah. But you have to premeditate this and give yourself enough time so you can still get to work.
Yes.
Then after you tell him that, then you continue to tell him like 10 stories in a row so he can't go do it.
Oh, yes.
And then like see how antsy he gets. Like, I really need to go clean up those pickles, but then like be like, oh, hang on, one more story. I've got to tell you this.
Yeah.
And just keep going. See what he does.
Okay. I'm totally going to do that. I wonder, I'm really trying to play it out in my mind right now and see, I don't know what he would, I don't know. I'm going to try it. I think you should try it and I should try it, and then we should just report back.
Yeah, and then we'll do another podcast, and then
podcast. Yeah. Handling people who won't stop talking.
Right.
When you're trying to get to work or working. I mean, it's a pretty specific annoyance and problem. It doesn't start my day off on the greatest note. You know, it's not really a great way to start my day. No.
So this is the first podcast I've done where I think I've had homework afterwards. But we're going to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, we are. I'm glad I gave you some. Speaking of annoyances, architecture. I'm randomly thinking about this, and I'm thinking of like every day I drive the same route to school, right? So I'm seeing the same scenery, the same things here and there. And I'm thinking about, it just depends on my mood in the morning. Most of the time I'm in a pretty good mood, but there are some mornings where I wake up and I'm just not in a good mood.
Right.
I see stuff and I'm like, what is that? What is the purpose of that? Why is that there? Or why is this thing here? And I just would like to bring up the topic of snow cone stands.
Okay.
What purpose do they serve? They're taking up space. And they're really only used, like 3 months out of the year?
Well, they use them all year round down here.
Oh, yeah, that's right, in Arizona. Well, like 20 degrees, the stand is closed down, no one's there, no one's using it, it's just there. And it's just kind of like a little rinky dink thing. And I just think to myself, why not just put up like a portable stand? Why do we have to have this? There is no function for it. It serves no other purpose. It just sits there. And then I just started thinking about other types of architecture that just really have no purpose or no use. That being number one for me.
How many snow cone stands are in Ames, Iowa?
I don't know. I personally have probably counted 2.
2?
But that's only because I see them. I'm sure there are more than that. Right. Like when I drive past them, I'm just like, ugh.
Oh, this is going to be unfavorable with you, but I think there should be as many snow cone stands as possible because I love snow cones.
I don't. What is this appeal? Ice with some sort of flavored crap syrup on it.
To be fair, it's shaved ice.
Oh, okay, my bad. But what is the appeal? Like, I don't get what's so tasty or yummy about it. I legitimately think to myself, I could go whip that up at home if I really wanted to. Like, but you're out here selling it, and people are going nuts, and the lines all the way down the street, and oh my gosh, and oh, we're out here on our cutesy little date, and I'm eating my snow cone, my shaved ice with my watermelon topping.
I've tried to make snow cones at home. You have to have the special shaving equipment. To get the right ice texture.
Okay.
But other than that, people are fat and just like sugar. So that's the appeal of it. Other than just a shaved ice.
It's also not. Yeah, it's definitely not doing anything positive. There's a part of me that thinks because there's one in Centerville. Do you know the one that I'm talking about, like on the levee, that little stand or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know that it's there anymore. Is it?
I don't know. And then there was one over by the skate park.
Yeah.
Kind of that.
The one on the levee, it was like it was like in a guy's accounting office.
Yes. Yes.
So it was dual purpose.
It honestly annoys me less because I'm like, okay, it does serve a purpose. There's actually a function for this building. Mm-hmm. And then this other, then the stand that was by the skate park, I'm like, but let's talk about other types of irrelevant architecture that doesn't just stay stationary. Okay, Santa Claus's house. They roll that bad boy out for winter and then they put it away. We don't need to leave it up all year round. I don't understand the purpose of these little snow cone stands that stay up all year round. I don't get it.
Santa's house.
They're taunting in a way, tempting you to think about warmer days.
They are a little bit.
Yeah.
The Santa's house argument, I can get behind that one. I think they could save time and money if they just had Santa set up like in somebody's store.
Yeah,
right?
Agreed, for sure.
Like the mall Santas, they don't have any special houses.
Yeah, and I mean, and even if they did want to set up the house, cool. But you know what they do? They take it down, they put it away. It's not an eyesore that then just sits out in front of the courthouse for, in the months of July and August, like, hanging out.
Now that I think about it, kids actually think that Santa has a house in all these places? He doesn't have that kind of money.
Doesn't.
He has one house, and it's in the North Pole.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the things that they believe, I'm just like, have you given that very much thought?
Besides for the Easter Bunny, that's 100% real.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I don't know what they're thinking, but yeah, there are like, I get architecture. I guess it's an art form, kind of. Like there are a lot of buildings that are really pretty and stuff, but do we really need like 10 different types of roofs?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like everybody out here has like the Adobe things with like the tiling. Like, okay, I understand, but like people with like, there's like flat roofs, there's like, they're this way, they're that way, why? It's just a roof.
I know. That's a good point. That, or there are some of these homes that if you go down certain roads in Ames, they're like, I don't even know how to describe them. I don't know what it's called, but the architecture is so intense. I'm like, am I looking at some sort of animal shelter, or am I you know what I mean? Because of like the brick institutionalized style of it. I'm like, what is that? And then other houses, I'm just like, I don't even know what they were thinking when they started developing that. What were they going with, and at what point along the way did they really like get off track and just, I think we're just going to do this now.
I think maybe this is it. They had like so many people wanted to be architects, and they like built one building, and they're like, shit. I guess we're done with everything. Start making shit up now, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go with this.
Like this, the first house is like pointed, and the next guy is like, I'm gonna put another point over here, and that way it's different and it's art now.
It is. And what makes it art? That's my next question. What makes it art?
Maybe like the gargoyles and stuff like that are on the buildings. That's kind of art, right?
Yeah. So if I added some of those in front of my ranch style house, would that make my house would that increase the value of it?
It might. What would your opinion be on snow cone stands if they had gargoyles on top of them?
Honestly, serves more of a purpose, I guess.
No. I think we've gotten to the bottom of this. All snow cone stands need to have gargoyles on them.
Only if they're like the real gargoyles and not some,
like the gargoyles from the cartoons.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I mean, it has to be like, and I want them to be fierce.
Right.
None of this, watered down crap. I want them to be fierce, maybe even marbles for eyes, so that when you're family and, maybe you and Kelsey are going to get a snow cone and you're like, I know which one I'm going to, the stand I'm going to, the one with the gargoyles. It's more visually appealing.
I like where you're going with the marble eyes. Like they need to have talons, maybe even like make them actually dangerous. Like give them actual knives for teeth and stuff.
Yeah, you could like penetrate or pierce yourself if you fell on it.
Yeah, and like so then if you order a stupid snow cone like I don't know, like do they have vanilla snow cones? Who would want a vanilla snow cone?
I don't know. I don't know who would want one at all. Apparently,
well, I like snow cones, but
I like them. Have your own snow cone machine at home. Didn't know that about you.
I should have. I need a shaved ice machine, but if you order vanilla snow cone, if that's a real thing, the gargoyle like comes down and stabs your face.
Yeah. Yes. Or maybe even just like slices off the tip of a finger. Like it causes a little bit of pain.
Gives you a paper cut.
Yes. Like it causes you a little bit of pain so that you can stop, rethink the choice you just made, and then make a better decision.
Where it's like classical conditioning a little bit. Like we're going to eliminate the vanilla flavor.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I like it.
I don't know. What is your favorite flavor? If you could choose, what would you?
I usually do most of the actually Hawaiian shaved ice brand stores. They have a flavor that's called rock and roll, I believe.
Oh my!
That I believe is a combination of like blue raspberry and maybe grape.
That sounds horrible.
Oh well.
I'm glad you like it.
It's delicious.
I'm glad you are enjoying it.
Okay, if you don't like, first off, this is America. Everybody likes shaved ice.
I don't. I hate it. In fact, now I think I hate it more. After just talking about it, I think I hate it more.
What's your opinion on like a slush or like an icy?
No. Not into it.
No ice down flavor. You don't like that?
No. I don't understand it. If you want something cold, like if it's a hot day and you want something cold to cool you down, what's wrong with a good old-fashioned Diet Mountain Dew or a Diet Pepsi? Hey, if you're leaning toward the dessert route, hit up a Cold Stone, hit up a Dairy Queen. You know what I mean? What's a malt, a shake? I don't get with this. I'm going to churn some shaved ice, pour some of this sugar. I just think of like corn syrup.
Oh, like, yeah, that's what it is.
Poured on that. I'm like, what? To me, it's maybe the worst invention. I can't back it. I can never get behind it. Even though you love it so much, I can't do it.
Okay, what do you think about this then? Putting Diet Pepsi or Diet Mountain Dew or whatever you want in a glass with ice is basically the same thing.
No, I'm not in some cutesy stand trying to get lines of people to come up, and I have, they always have like the different colored and the flags, and
Oh yeah.
I'm not like, oh hey, come on up here, let me shave this, and I'm not taking a corn syrup thing and pouring it over and then trying to pass it off as some delicious snack. I'm just simply taking this, crap, also pouring it over some ice and chugging it. And I don't really drink Diet Mountain Dew or Diet Coke because I love the taste. I'm drinking it because I'm going to chug it. Like, I'm just downing it and waking the F up.
Oh my! I'm gonna start a Kickstarter to open up a snow cone stand right next to where you live.
Oh,
with gargoyles.
if it has gargoyles, then I guess I could stand that. I'm just thinking too about. I'm also this kind of leads me into another potential topic.
Okay.
People in general. Do you want them around?
No.
I'm thinking about like where I live it's a pretty quiet neighborhood. Not a lot of people around. Most of the people who are around keep to themselves. You bring in a snow cone stand with gargoyles, imagine the lines.
Neighborhood's going to hell.
Imagine the turmoil that I have to deal with on a daily basis just to back out my driveway.
Also, you know what? I've read statistics that gang-related activity often happens around snow cone stands. So
there we go. I'm telling you, it will be the fall of our society as we know it.
It could be. We might have to eradicate all the snow cone stands.
I don't know why people haven't thought of this already.
Man.
I don't claim to be brilliant.
You want to hear a funny story about neighborhoods?
Yes, I do.
So I live in like a decent sized apartment complex type thing, and we're in a really nice area. We're right next to a mall and all that, so it's pretty quiet most of the time. There's from our apartment, we're in the very back of the complex, so there's two ways to go out, and I always go one way because sometimes the other way doesn't work right.
Yeah. And
I go to work really, really early. So I leave here at like 5:15 in the morning to go to work. And so I always go this way. There's like, it's dark. There's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. So the other day I got to work. Kelsey is texting me like, hey, there's all kinds of news stands, like news trucks and all kinds of stuff at our apartment complex. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm like, holy shit. Like I didn't see any of this when I left.
Yeah.
And, so I Googled it, and this teen stole his girlfriend's dad's BMW and was just like, I don't know if they got in a fight or what, but he was driving it like through the apartment complex and like really, really fast, I guess, and like smashed like 7 cars.
Oh shit.
There's still 2 cars out there that are like, they're just smashed to shit. And like because it gets so hot here, they always have canopies over all the cars so they don't get too hot.
Yeah.
And like he smashed the shit out of this canopy, and like it's gonna fall down at some point. Like they're gonna have to replace it. But it was nuts. I guess there's like 5 news trucks at our apartment complex to cover it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what's wrong with teens?
I don't know. I mean, it also some days, okay, you woke up at 5:15, you get to your job, you've got to deal with loud lady over here who's going to talk about her kids, for whatever reason. You get to work, and then you hear something like this, and then there's a part of you that's like, oh, thank God that wasn't me. I always do that. Anytime I hear about anything bad that happened, I just for a moment say, thank you. I'm so glad I did not steal my girlfriend's dad's BMW and crash it 7 cars and ruin a canopy and destroy and have news cameras in my face and everything else. And then I also have this overwhelming fear that I'm like, am I going to do something like that at some point? Do you know what I mean? Do you ever worry about like, am I going to have some sort of nervous breakdown and do something wild and crazy and then I'll be on TV for it?
I don't actually think about that. What I thought about first was that I was glad the little shit didn't get around to where my car was and run into it, because I would have beat his ass.
Yeah.
Like the people whose cars he ran into, like they were nice cars, and like they had to be so pissed. Like you'd have to go to work in the morning and your car's like, oh yeah, no.
Completely. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. You got by. You were pretty lucky with that.
Yeah. Yeah. If he would have got around the corner, he would have been in our area and I would not have been happy.
I wouldn't have either. Oh, I wonder what happened to him.
I haven't heard.
How old was he? Do you know?
I don't know. All I said was, I looked at the news stories and they all just say teen. So, but they did say that that no drugs or alcohol were involved. So he was just stupid. Like I said, people are stupid.
Yeah. He was just kind of. I wonder if the dad. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I wonder if the dad was like, "You can't date my daughter anymore," or if the dad was like, I bet you. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what made him so mad.
You kind of want to know the whole backstory. The thing I read was that a neighbor, heard the teen and his girlfriend shouting at each other, but they didn't say what they were yelling about. And then a little bit later, they heard wheels screeching, and then this kid ran into cars.
I wonder if she took his keys and was like, "I'm not going to let you leave. We're going to figure this out." And then he was like, "I'm out of here, you crazy." And then he was like, "I don't care. I'm going to take your dad's car." And off he went. I wonder if and I wonder why he was in your neighborhood, if he was going to someone's house.
Well, I think they both live in our apartment complex, I think.
Oh, see, It's all coming together.
But what was his plan? Where was he going?
Oh, no. He probably just wanted to see what she would do or something, you know? But speaking of unsolved crimes, how about that making Speaking of that, have you watched it?
I have watched it.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, man, I don't want to spoil too much if anybody's watching this that hasn't seen it.
True. Good point. Very considerate of you.
What I researched some of the stuff afterwards and read some of the stuff that they didn't put in the documentary.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, you should turn off now.
Yeah. Skip ahead like a minute, 2 minutes, and then you can start watching again. And the main thing is that I don't know what his motive would have been to kill that lady.
Yeah.
But I still think that he did it.
You do think he did?
I do think that he did.
What makes you think he did?
Some of the stuff that I read afterwards, like so she was coming to take pictures for Auto Trader or whatever. He called Auto Trader and her personal cell phone multiple times leading up to
requesting her.
Yeah, requesting her and all that, and then there's some stuff with his nephew, which I think that wasn't handled right, but there's some things where they make you think that his nephew made up that story.
Yeah.
But some of the things that I read, he actually said that some of that stuff was true that happened. So I don't know. I do think that some of the investigators planted some stuff.
Right.
I do think there was some stuff that wasn't quite right in it, but I still I would say I'm at 65% that he did.
Okay. And this leads to a really important question that I think anyone who's watched that show needs to ask themselves. Mm-hmm. I think you need to, because bottom line, I think everyone can agree the investigation, the way it was handled, his trial, his nephew's trial, poorly done. There was a lot of injustice that took place there. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, I ask myself, would I be comfortable in a room alone or, I don't know, going and taking pictures for Auto Trader at Stephen Avery's house alone? Would I be comfortable doing that with just him? And I think, is it my bias? Now that because I have, I've also read some other things, and then I, of course, watched the series. But I think no matter what, his existence is tainted. He can never, even if he didn't do this, if he gets out again, I'm how could he ever live a life, you know what I mean, that's ordinary or that even resembles anything like he was living before. I don't know. I just think people are forever going to question, you know, I don't know if he'll get another trial. I haven't heard anything about that.
I know that they've had like a bunch of petitions for people to sign to try to get Obama to pardon him, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I can't imagine that happening, but maybe.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that he would know really how to live outside of prison anymore. He's been there for so long.
Yeah, it's like half his life.
Yeah. He's there for 18 years the first time, and now for however long. I don't know when that happened, but yeah.
It's wild.
It is. That is crazy.
Yeah, I was pretty depressed when I got done with that series because so many questions left unanswered, and also, what do I do with my free time now?
Right.
How do I actually spend my days and nights? And
yeah,
I don't know.
Kelsey has that problem because she binge watches everything.
Yeah.
And like, this is what she'll do because she's the worst person ever. But I'll start watching a show and I'll get into it, and then she'll be like, "Oh, that show's stupid." And then she'll start watching it like halfway, like in an episode that I'm watching. She'll start watching it, and then she'll go through and watch all of them. and then I can't watch it anymore because she's seen them all.
Right. Does she tell you like what happens or anything like that if you try to watch it or what?
Most of the time not, but she's just like, I've already seen this. I don't want to watch it again.
Oh, and you're like, I was so looking forward to watching it.
Right. And so now I can't remember what she just finished watching, but now she started watching all the Harry Potter movies over and over.
Oh, how's that going?
It's, it is what it is. I guess there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
What are you watching? What have you been into lately?
Harry Potter. That's all. That's what I've been watching.
I started watching The Fosters. Have you seen it? ABC Family.
No.
There has never been a more beautiful story that represents so many different people and places and ways of life, and it was amazing. Like, I would sit there and I would find myself like smiling, maybe getting a little choked up watching it, and I would be like, what's going on right now? Why am I so into this show? And I would think, it can't get better. There's no way this show can get better. That was just it right there. Literally the next episode, it's better. It's just it's so good. I love it. And then I'll
look into that.
What?
I might have to look into that.
Good. It's a good one. I would encourage you to kill some of your time later today watching The Fosters. Okay.
Is it on Netflix?
It is. Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll check that out.
Yeah, do it.
So this is what we give you on this podcast. We give you show recommendations.
Yeah. That we also teach you passive aggressive ways to deal with people that you don't want to talk to ever. You know, or you want to avoid conversations. What else have we covered? I'm trying to think.
Gargoyles.
Ways to improve irrelevant architecture.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, really.
Yeah, we've hit on a lot of things.
Yeah, we have. I think I didn't start. I usually start my stopwatch, but I didn't start it this time. I think. Yeah. I think we've covered a good range of things, but I think the one thing that's obvious is that we're gonna have to do this again because we still have more to talk about.
I would enjoy that. I have a number of, there's still some things in the back of my mind even right now, but I do think I'm gonna start my homework.
Okay.
And, see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna take a bit for me. I'm gonna have to force myself to do it, but I'm gonna try.
To practice, so you can practice with Kelsey.
Yeah.
Practice like what you're going to say and all of that, role play, if you will. So maybe I will have Cody be doing something in the kitchen, and then I'll like drop something.
There you go.
Try to detain him for a while and see how that works out. I think he will freak out, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I can only imagine what he would do if you just like dropped something on the floor and then started talking to him. Like nothing happened. He'd be like,
he would get really, I think he would be like, first of all, you're losing it because if anything falls on the floor, I'm like, oh my, immediately cleaning it up. Don't leave anything out. So he would not know. He would think there was something wrong with me.
Oh, that'd be funny. You should record that. If you do that, record it. That'd be funny.
I'll set up a camera in the corner of the room.
Yeah, there we go. So, if you don't already, listen to the sister podcast, Cold Sweats Podcast. We're on their YouTube channel where you're watching this. Like this video. If you leave us a comment, anything. I check it periodically throughout the week to see if I've gotten over 7 views. So, you know, someday that YouTube ad money is going to start rolling in, and it's going to be great. This might be the episode that puts us over the top. We might get eight views on this one.
Is that our goal? Is our goal 8?
I think so. I think that's our goal.
Okay.
Anyway, anything that you want to say before we close up?
No, I've really enjoyed talking to you. It's nice to see you, and best of luck with your work week, avoiding people who smash cars in your parking lot and others. Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it, and good luck with getting your coffee and the old man that likes to talk to you.
I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Until next time, don't forget to tip your server.